Okay, so last speaker. Hey, you guys remember, you all remember how we were marching and then there was another march and then the other march joined with our march? Yeah! How did that happen? How did that happen? That happened because a person who was organizing with that other march, which is, she's gonna correct me, the Defend Abortion Rights Now march. Rosa got in touch and said, hey, we know you're doing this thing. We don't want to get swallowed up. We don't want you to get swallowed up. Let's do it together. So that is how that happened. Rosa's going to talk to us about body autonomy and why that is the central organizing principle for us and the reproductive justice movement. Rosa, Astra.
Trans and reproductive rights, one struggle, one fight. 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 Woo! Hello, all of you beautiful people. This march was absolutely incredible today. This march was the most incredible trans march that I've ever been a part of. And that's because I've been reminded to take off my mask so y'all can hear me. And that's because we came together to combine these different struggles that are fundamentally the same struggle, right? So I want to talk about how these struggles are inseparable. I want to talk about how these struggles are the same. So inseparable, what does that mean? It means we can't fight for one of them without fighting for all of them. It means any attack on any of us is an attack on all of us. And that's what solidarity means. We are united by, we are, in order to understand how we are united, we need to understand that the fundamental right of all people, even and especially the poor, the oppressed, the black and brown, the queer and trans, the working class people, to decide what we do with our own bodies and to access the health care that we need to be the happiest, the most beautiful, the most healthy, the most fulfilled versions of ourselves. To live the happiest, the most beautiful, and the most fulfilled versions of our lives. And we need to understand that these attacks are coming from the same place, right? The same politicians are funding the bills, are pushing the bills. The same reactionary think tanks are writing them. The same billionaires are funding them. And these attacks are systemic, right? What does that mean, systemic? It means it's the system, right? It means it's part of the economic and social and political system that we live under, right? And that is the patriarchal, the white supremacist, the capitalist system. Yeah, can I get a boo for the capitalist system? And so we say, you know, these things all come out of the capitalist system. Well, why is that? Let's talk about that for just a second. It's because these attacks on trans people, these attacks on women, the attacks on reproductive justice and gender-affirming healthcare for all people, and the right of LGBTQ people to exist in public are the culmination of a long strategy from the evangelical far right, where they pivoted to after they found that defending Jim Crow segregation was no longer politically viable to them. And this is a strategy that took the economic and the social conservatism and turned that into a machine for delivering this block of support from the churches to Wall Street for this reactionary agenda. The billionaires fund this reactionary agenda as long as they do whatever they want, as long as they bust the unions and as long as they cut the taxes on the billionaires, right? So that's how all of these things are connected. So the key question is, what are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do? That's right. We're seeing it today. We're seeing it here where we're all out here, united in the struggle, united in the fight. That's how we're gonna win. We know that from our history, from the history of the Compton's cafeteria uprising that was right here, to the Stonewall Rebellion, from the civil rights movement to the anti-war movement to the movement against racist police terror in 2020. That's how we win, is by uniting and getting into the streets and fighting for it, right? And so that's exactly what we're gonna do, because when we're united, we're strong. When we're united, we have power. When we are united, we can win. So we need to organize, we need to get organized, we need to stay united, we need to fight together. I want everyone here to make sure that you don't leave without talking to other people who are here to organize, all right? Don't leave without signing up with an organization that's here to organize, right? Because we're gonna stay in the streets, we are getting organized, we are going to fight back, and we are ultimately going to win for our collective liberation, for the end of the capitalist system. We're not just protesting against the system, we are fighting to change the system, right? That's exactly what we're gonna do! Trans and reproductive rights, one struggle, one fight. Trans and reproductive rights, one struggle, one fight. Trans and reproductive rights, one struggle, one fight. Trans and reproductive rights, one struggle, one fight.